Will crypto see a massive ride or a huge crash before the end of this year? Let's find out. Could the Campi Flegrei super volcano really erupt in 2026 and change the world? Let me tell you what I see. What happens to Israel after Netanyahu steps down? And could there be peace in the Middle East in 2026? Will a famous painting be stolen in Australia? And where could this happen? We are covering all this today. Let's dive right in. Hello everybody, welcome back to Answer Monday here on Extreme Wise Predictions channel. And as you can see, we have got a brand new setup in our background, and I'm really excited to share with you because it's going to make our deep dive into the future even more fun and engaging. As always, Answer Monday is all about you. The questions you send in, the mysteries you want me to look at, and the big global event you want clarity on. And wow, this week's questions are incredible. We are going to explore cryptocurrency predictions, when I see a big rise coming and a big fall actually coming. We will also look at Campi Flegrei, and will there be a possible eruption in 2026? And what will that eruption mean to the world? You also asked about Israel and Netanyahu and whether peace is possible in the Middle East by 2026. We will also check in on Norway's elections. Some of you have asked about wild possibilities, like whether the famous painting may be stolen in Australia, or if we will see another plane crash soon. Others also wanted insight on mergers between major companies, whether India and Trump will rekindle relationships, and what's going on for Belgium housing market. Will it finally cool down so that people can actually buy easily? We will also take a look at India and Pakistan in early 2026. We are also going to talk about the September 2025 Rapture predictions that is going around social media as well. What I also see coming in France banking systems and potential financial restrictions, and even whether corruption politicians in South Africa could finally face justice in Madlanga commission case. And here is something new. I'm also going to be launching a Thursday prediction series where channel members will get to vote on the country they want me to actually predict on a weekly basis. If you want to support the channel, and I want you to join also the decision making in terms of the countries that I'm going to be predicting on, I want you to join the monthly membership to support the channel. This will help a long way to actually support the channel in terms of the videos that I make on weekly basis. And if you want to also check the gears that I use, just like the cameras, the microphone, the lights, and all the equipment that I use, I'm actually going to drop in the affiliated links under the video description. And if you use those links, they are not going to give you any extra cost to the things that you are going to buy. But I'm going to also be able to earn a small commission to help support the channel. With all said, I want you to buckle up because we have a lot to cover today. Let's jump right in. In our first question, we have Radmir's. It says, I recommend you in one of the headings to make a prediction on cryptocurrency when there will be a big rise and when there will be a big fall. So when we are talking about cryptocurrency, with cryptocurrency, I already told you guys that I'm not going to be making price predictions for cryptocurrency. But what I can see for cryptocurrency, especially with Bitcoin, is that I see that there's going to be an all-time high, like I told you in my previous prediction, in November and mid-December. But after that, let's say when it gets to the end of January, anyone who is holding cryptocurrency, especially those who are holding it for a short term, has to be able to sell off their cryptocurrency because there's going to be a crash. And I already made this prediction in my previous videos, and you can actually watch that. There's a crash coming after the end of January 2026. Let's move on to the next question. With the Randiers, it says that please watch the eruption of Campi Flegrei volcano in August to September 2026, and how will that actually affect the world? First of all, let me try to vibrate and see what I can see for Campi Flegrei. With the volcanoes that are actually happening over there, I think everybody already knows that there's going to be a volcano eruption. So this is not going to be more of a prediction base, based on the fact that scientists has already identified that there's going to be one that is going to be happening next year, and even multiple may actually occur. So it's not going to be like a prediction for me. So what I want is that I just want to wait and see what happens. Then if we need to actually go around in terms of those things that has happened, and those things I can actually make a prediction in terms of that. But I don't want to say anything, since this is not going to be an actual prediction in my own opinion. So I don't want to talk about anything like that. So let's go to the next question. With the next question, we have Ryan. Ryan says that, hello David, could you please predict what the future for Israel be after Netanyahu steps down? Will there be a peace in the Middle East in 2026 or 2027 between the key countries of this region? So in terms of Netanyahu actually stepping down, I would prefer that we wait till like Netanyahu steps down, because it's a prediction that I've already made that Netanyahu is going to, leave one way or another. I don't want to go back into that kind of prediction. I already said Netanyahu is going to actually leave, and then so that is a prediction on its own, and that prediction has not actually happened yet. So let's wait, and let's not go ahead of ourselves and make predictions while we have pending predictions that has not already happened. And I don't like to do that. I'm not the type of psychic that like to go ahead of myself and make predictions when my previous predictions has not actually manufactured or materialized yet. So well, let's wait, let him step down, and then we can see what the future holds for Israel, and then with the Middle East as well. Like I told you, with the Middle East, I said that in January, February, there's going to be a peace deal that is going to be set with that two countries, the conflict within, I think, those two countries coming through. So let's wait till that also predictions come in, and then we can make another predictions based beyond that, because I have a pending prediction that has not already materialized yet. So let's wait on that and see what the future holds for these two countries. Let us move on to the next question. Let me come back to the Israel issue real quick before I move on to the next question. With Israel, I don't see like a country that is going to have peace anytime soon at this moment. It looks like they will not have total peace. When there is a peace that comes in, another conflict will rise up in this few years that we are going to be in. So I don't see a total peace actually for Israel, like I've already predicted in the past. I don't see that for a while now. And I said that, Iran will try to move like biological weapons through Syria to strike Israel. I don't know if that has happened already. And then I said that Turkey and um, uh, Syria is going to have a massive conflict, where I also see that Israel is going to actually massively attack Syrian. So this is what I see for Israel as a whole. So that is a pending prediction already made, and that if you want that as well, I can add it into this video. That's what I have. And then let's move on to the next question. So I still have another run here. It's not the same as the previous one. This one says that, can you please on Answer Monday tell us about the election in Norway this year? I think the election was stolen, it was rigged, and what the people that has been running the country this years, are they going to be punished? This is a crazy times that we live in. Elections in Norway, it's very funny. There are some words you can say it on social media. So what I can say is that there has not been any tangible, evidence that is coming out that the elections was rigged. So that is one caution that we have to actually, so that when we are saying our words, we have to say it carefully, because predictions doesn't mean you can implicate someone when you don't have evidence to those things. So I don't like to actually target one person and say it. I like to say generally what is going to happen, instead of targeting one person and saying that they did this and that, whilst I don't have evidence for it. So with the elections, there's no tangible, I say, evidence that implicates anyone that it was actually rigged or it was stolen or something like that. In terms of what people are saying, That's what their thoughts are and what they want it to be. Until evidence comes out, then we can also come out as a psychic and say certain things that is going to be happening. But for now, I don't see anybody getting implicated, and I don't see there's going to be any rerun of the elections. The elections is finalized, and that is how you guys have to take it for now till the next elections. And I don't see there's going to be any change in terms of re-election happening in Norway at the moment. That is all I can say about that. In terms of Norway elections that happened, I think on the 8th and on the 11th. So that is all I can say for now. Um, let us move on to the next question. And No Shuan says that thank you for answering my question. I have another one. I think he always have four questions. It says that will there be a famous plant stolen in Australia and where? Wow, that's a that's a very wild prediction. Let me zoom in and see what I can actually pick up in terms of Australia if there's going to be any famous painting being stolen. So when I'm zooming in terms of Australia, I see that there may be an attempt to steal a painting in the natural. I think it's um, the National Gallery of Victoria in Melbourne, Australia. It's not like a total, they are going to get away with it. But I'm also having a feeling that there are other museums that holds those kind of stuff. And I see one in another location in Melbourne that there may be an attempt or there's going to be a stolen. And I feel that there is another one in I think is Vienna. That's what I'm picking up. I'm picking up Vienna and Melbourne at the moment. It looks like one of this location they are going to steal it, and one of the locations is going to be an attempt to steal. So that is what I'm picking up at this moment. But since it's live, I'm not getting full details of what, but I'm feeling that that is going to happen. There's going to be two attempts. There's going to be one attempt, and then the other one is going to be a successful one, and I think they will apprehend them later on after the painting has been sold or something like that. That's what I'm picking up at the moment. Let's move on to his next question. His next question is saying that will you kindly check if anything will happen to a member of the royal family in Scotland before the end of 2025? I think he wants to say 2025, but I put in 2023. Um, so the royal members in Scotland, let me, some of these things I don't want to make predictions because we all know they are old, and then there's going to be like illness that is going to be coming on them and stuff like that. So when you're making predictions, it's not actually predictions, it's like something we already know coming, but it has not happened yet in terms of that. So when you make those predictions, it's kind of like obvious. If you understand what I mean, it's like when someone is on life support, we already know it is very likely that the person will leave us. So when you make prediction that the person is going to actually leave, it's not a prediction in my opinion because we already know it's happening, right? So with the royal family of Scotland, I'm only picking up it's the same thing, illness, and then I think hmm, something else that I'm picking up is that I see either someone passed away in January of 2026 or there is a funeral that they were having in January of 2026. That is what I'm seeing because I'm seeing like a casket when someone passes, they are being put in a casket, and then I see something like that happening, and then I see it for the royal family. I think that's what I'm picking up, but I'm not picking up whether a male or a female, but I'm picking it up that the person resembles like a female to me. But that's what I'm picking up at the moment. The royal family, the way they are, you don't really see who is who. So that's what I'm picking up at the moment. I think that's going to be happening January 2026, where they're about. It's like someone passed away, or I saw like there was a funeral happening in that time of January of 2026. Let's see if it's going to happen. Let us move on to the next question. Same notion one said that will there be another plane crash? So this is not really a prediction because I already made a prediction that I see a plane crash somewhere, flying around Europe or something like that. I think that prediction has not come in yet. And I'm still holding on to that prediction because I see that happening. It was like a passenger plane with another type of plane. And then there was like I call it an attack because of the way it happened. So um, that's what I see happening. Like plane flying around Europe. I think it was heading to US. I don't know which location it actually happened. So it could be when they have gotten to the US or when they were at Europe flying to the US. So, but I saw it happening in midair. So this can be anywhere in those locations or in those coordinates. But that's what I see is for it looks like a passenger plane and with another type of plane having a crash. That's what I see. Like a famous one that will hit the news and it's going to be a popular topic that is going to be reading. I don't want it to happen. So when it has not happened, I like the fact that it never happened. But as you are asking again, I want to raise the same thing because I don't want to zoom in into something else and then people's lives will be lost and stuff like that. So that is all I can say. Let's move on to his next question. His next question says that will there be a merge of companies in the coming years and possibly who? Okay. Let me see if so based on this question, it's looking like the major companies is what he's talking about, the ones we can actually resonate with. So zooming in into those big companies, would there be a merge? So the only thing I'm picking up right now is that it looks like based on the development and then the advancement of AI, I see Google actually merging with one of the communication, I think, companies. Like the communication companies I'm talking about, like X, like, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, those kind of companies I'm talking about. So those ones that falls within those categories, I see them merging with um, Google. I see that happening. I don't know if what do you think if you are here? What do you think if like Google merge with YouTube because YouTube is the second most visited platform and then Google is the first one. So what if the first and second actually merge together? What will happen actually? What do you think will happen with everyone actually using AI at the moment? But I see that mm, the company that Google is going to merge with is like those kind of companies that you can communicate. I don't know if YouTube you can actually communicate. I think those ones you can communicate in the comment section or something. But here's a case that I mean the private kind of communication is what I mean. So I see Google actually merging with those kind of companies like that. And then I'm picking up something like it may start, but I see it finalizing in 2027. That's what I'm picking up at the moment. That's what I see, and then that's the vibration that I'm getting at the moment. Let's move on to the next question. So we have Cindy here. Cindy says that, can you see if India will restore relationship with Trump anytime soon? I will say the short answer is yes, that their relationship is going to actually be restored. I see that they are working on some trade deal that is going to come. I think I made a prediction that India will overtake China in manufacturing of goods and services like that in the coming years. So, whether soon, I don't see like soon in 2025, but I see like soon in 2026. I see them actually having that trade deal happen. It looks like the end of first quarter or the beginning of second quarter of 2026. I see something like that happening, that they will actually iron their differences and then they will come together in terms of becoming one and then merging their differences with each other. That's what I see happening in 2026 between India and then Trump happening, actually. Let's move on to the next question. So I have Sobia. I think Sobia has become one of the famous people on the channel. He has a lot of questions almost every time. He say, "Thank you for your explanation for the DR Congo. Do you see a real estate market going down in Belgium soon? Houses are very expensive to buy. Will we be able to buy cheaper soon?" Um, so with the, I would say the short answer to that is I think I've made prediction about Belgium and real estate. So the short answer is that no, the real estate market in Belgium will not go down anytime soon. Rather, the Belgium, Belgium will be flooded with illegal immigrants, and which will make the cost of housing rather go more higher. I think the inflow of immigrants are there already, illegal immigrants are there already, and this is going to be very massive. And there is unemployment that is coming to hit Belgium very heavily. So, like I made prediction previously, that if you are having a job in Belgium, make sure that you maintain that job, because there's a like unemployment that is coming massively that will let people lose their houses. And because of the inflow of illegal immigrants, still the housing market will actually be skyrocketing at this moment. Unfortunately, maybe years to come it will happen, but soon, no, I don't see that happening at this moment. Let's move on to the next question. So Ramirez says that, and also please look at the war between India and Pakistan in February, March 2026, and how it will affect the world, because a huge number of Indian residents will leave the country. So when you're talking about, I think March 2026, and then with Pakistan, I don't have a feeling that there's going to be a conflict, right? I think that what I feeling is that is Pakistan is going to have a problem, right? They are going to have a problem. Indian is going to have a problem. And then it looks like Indian people actually went to actually settle like Pakistan. That's the feeling that I'm having. I'm not having a conflict. I wish I was having that kind of feeling that you were having, but I think that I see Pakistan was actually experienced like a severe economic and environmental problem, and things will be worse because they will be unable to maintain their nuclear power, which will make them actually fall. This will make part of Pakistan become part of India. And that's what I see happening. And I see that there's going to be a lot of people from India that's going to be actually settling in Pakistan. So that is what I see happening. But I don't see a conflict between the countries at the moment. I think maybe in the near future, when I vibrate a little bit more, I can see if there's a conflict happening between those countries. But right now, I don't. Let us move on to the next question. I think I have Defender here. Defender say, "Hi, can you tell us if the predictions circulating or circling around social media about a rapture happening on September 23rd and 24th are true? What will happen on that day?" So, with this, let me tell you straight up. Um, there's not going to be any rapture happening. And let me include this as well. Um, that the world was not actually destroyed by God in terms of the way actual people are saying it, right? The world was destroyed by ourselves, and this is how we actually accomplish that. Technology advanced to a certain level that the frequency that was being produced actually melted the world. That is what I saw happening. And then this has actually even happened 5 times already. And we are on the sixth world. So that is what I know in terms of my spiritual guide and angelic beings, in terms of celestial beings, have communicated and shown me that in past times. So that is what I saw, that, where people talking about rapture happening, and there is a God, there is, but he didn't destroy the world like we term it to be, and all these things did not really happen. We as humans actually advanced technology in such a way that it begin to melt the world. It melted the world, and that is where the fires and things came in, and all that that was melted. So rapture happening in September, whatever it is, it's a fallacy. It's not going to happen. I don't see that happening. On that day, it's going to just be a normal day. Nothing like that is going to happen. It's going to be a glorious day. Depends on where you are, but there's going to be rain with some parts of the country, but there's not going to be anything else apart from that happening. Let me move on to the next question. So I have Love Coaching here. Love Coaching says, can you give more details about the evolution of the banking system in France in 2025 and 2026? And France government has now 3,300 billion in debt. The France savings in the country's bank are about the same. Will they attempt some kind of confiscation or redirection of these funds towards the state objectives such as defense or install ceiling for withdrawal like in Lebanon, and or keep money blocked from leaving France or tax it when leaving, financial repossession, and how long will paper money still coexist with digital money? Thank you. So with the France issue, I see that France will not confiscate private asset or public funds towards their death. But I see that there will be confiscation in terms of criminally acquired assets, which is not the same as the private assets and stuff. So, but I also see that they are going to be introducing high income taxes and freeze those income tax brackets for 2026. And I also see that they are going to cut like government spending for their budget in 2026. So you can see that there's going to be a huge cut when it comes to the France nationals, their budgets that they are going to be reading for 2026. There's going to be a heavy cut in that, but that is what I see. But in terms of I don't see. But you also made a mention of digital currency and paper currency. When will they coexist? Till I think it is till 2032. I see that in 2032 there's going to be an evolving of a lot of things that you can see that will be going fully on digital currency come 2032. So let's wait till that also happens. Let's move on to the next question. The next question we have Salma. Salma say, David, thank you for your insight. Can you once again check South Africa? We are Madlangan commission fraud by politician and police. Will these people be arrested in the coming months? The case has just started. So let me vibrate towards that. But first of all, I will not mention any names since it's an ongoing issue. But they are going to be arrested. A lot of them is like when you talk about arrest, like getting jailed or something. But I think they have already been suspended of their position. But I see most of them will be replaced. Surprisingly, I also see that there's going to be little to no jail term for most of them as well. But since it's an ongoing case, I'm not able to mention any names. Uh, it's just to implicate or to change certain outcomes. But that is what I see at the moment. Yes, it's a talk. Everybody is going to be aware of it. We have already seen that evidence is in place. But if justice will be served, it's going to be a little bit shaky. I think I picked up on this already about, South Africa, that there is corruption up to the top of the chain. And I told you guys that there's come to be something that will come to light. And I think that is what has confirmed and it has come. Little to no jail term. That is what I see. Even if somebody will be sentenced, it's not going to be that heavy. That's what I see. I know the corruption runs deep. That's how I'm going to say it. Because it's an ongoing case. I can't say certain things. So let it stop. Let's pause on that at this moment, and then see what happens next. But I see little to no jail terms for most of the people that are actually allegedly involved. So wow, what an incredible sections today. Thank you guys so much for sending in such powerful and thought-provoking questions. Answer Monday wouldn't exist without you guys. And I love diving into the future with the community every single week. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any Answer Monday videos that comes up. And don't forget that we're going to be having our brand new Thursday prediction series that is coming. I already told you guys that our community members will be the ones actually, choosing the ones that is going to be what we are going to be focusing on. So if you would like to take part and support the channel or the work that I do here, click on the join button right below the video or within the video description. And if you also want to see exactly the gears that I use for production in terms of my setup, which is from the camera to the microphone, you can check the affiliated links in the video description. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just to support the channel as well. So any of the small purchases that you get, I get a small commission out of it as well. That is what I get. And I'll say finally that I would love to hear your thought of today's predictions. Drop your comments below with your insights, your questions, or even your own predictions as well. And you don't know, maybe your question will be featured in our next Answer Monday video. Thanks once again for staying tuned and for watching. Be wise, stay cautious, and also I'm going to see you guys in the next Answer Monday video. Thank you.